What's up, everybody? CHM Carnivorous here, and I hope you're having a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Now, in this video, I want to do something a little different. I want to talk about the #1 carnivorous plant that every plant owner should own, and the answer might just surprise you. Stick around. All right, everybody. So, as you know, and if you've seen in my videos, I am a big proponent of people collecting Nepenthes. I love Nepenthes, and for good reason. They're big, they're beautiful, they smell fragrant, they have amazing, beautiful traps. They're just fun to grow all around. But today we're going to take a detour away from Nepenthes, and we're going to talk about the one plant that all plant growers, in my opinion, should grow. And if you're definitely into carnivorous plants, you should have this as part of your collection. And so what I am talking about is specifically Drosera. Now, Drosera is, that is the scientific name. The layman term for it is a sundew. Now, there is a lot of different types of sundews that you can choose from. I am not going to, in this video, go through all those. I'm going to talk about one very specific sundew. And without further ado, let's get into that. This is called a Drosera Capensis. And as you can see, it is in flower, and it has flowered multiple times. We will talk about that and why that's also very beneficial for your growing. Now, Drosera or sundews have a very, very wide range of conditions in which they can grow. This particular one, Capensis, is a very, very, very adept plant to a wide range of conditions. It does not mind droughts. It is more of a bog plant and does like to keep wet, but it can withstand periods of drought. Capensis, in my mind, and this is probably not doing it justice, would be considered the weed of the carnivorous plants. This plant loves to grow. It is a survivor, and that is the #1 reason why all people, all plant growers, especially carnivorous plants growers, should own a Drosera Capensis. So the first thing we're going to talk about is ease of growth. These plants grow very, very fast. As a matter of fact, about a year and a half ago, I bought 2 of them, and that is it. And I now have hundreds, if not close to 1,000 of these plants. They grow very, very fast. Now, the way they do that is a couple of different ways. One is they will grow off of their roots, and they will create what's called like little rosettes. And so they will grow little pups off of their roots, and they will multiply very, very fast. So that is one way. The second way are all these seed stalks you see flying around in my face right now. These Drosera Capensis self-pollinate, so you have to do absolutely nothing. They produce these long flower stalks that will then pollinate themselves. The flowers will close, the pods will dry out, and they will disperse, without exaggeration, close to 1,000 to 3,000 seeds. The seeds are very, very tiny, almost like sand, and they are black in color, and they have a very, very high strike rate. And what I mean by strike rate is that if you plant, I think it's around 80%. So of the 1,000 seeds that you plant, if they have the right conditions, 80% of them will turn into plants. So extremely high. Now, the third thing they can do is all these little arms can be cut off, and they can be placed in water and on the soil. You can literally just drop them right on the soil, and they will grow new plants out of those arms. And not just one, sometimes multiple plants. They are an exceptionally cool plant. Easy to grow. If you're getting into carnivorous plants for the first time, they make a wonderful first addition to that. They tend to flower profusely. If they are given the right light, they will flower multiple times a year, almost to the point of once per month, and they will produce those seeds. The hardest part about this plant, if you give it the right conditions, is being able to control the volume that they grow. Now, the other cool thing about Drosera Capensis and other Droseras, but specifically this one, it is the only other carnivorous plant that will actually move. Venus flytrap, everybody knows, will close around its prey. Now, admittedly, the Drosera is a little bit slower to move. When it captures its prey, it will slowly curl around the prey and bring it in. And so what you'll see is it's called a sundew, and it's hard to tell in this lighting, but there is dew all over these arms, if you will, tendrils, and that dew will actually stick the fly to it, wrap it around, and it will slowly start to digest the insect. So it is very, very cool in that nature that it actually moves, and a lot of people like to have that. The other thing that's really amazing about these plants is they make fantastic companion plants to your other carnivorous plants. Now, what I do, and I've started doing, I have a whole nother grow tent for these specifically, but what I've started to do is put the seeds into my Nepenthes, because I want them to grow around my Nepenthes. Because they don't require as much bog conditions as other Droseras, they can handle a dry out period and handle the amount of moisture in your sphagnum moss. So they will grow up around your Nepenthes, and as long as you're not looking to sell them and have them in your collection like I do, they will not only be an added beauty to the greenhouse, but they also work as a very good defender against your Nepenthes against bugs like thrip and mites. Because of the nature of their sundew, the dew on the tendrils, these insects are attracted to them, and they have to get through these in order to get to your Nepenthes. So if you have these planted around the base of your Nepenthes, they are going to do wonders in preventing insects from getting to your Nepenthes. And so that, for one reason, is why I'm going to start to grow them in my Nepenthes tent. I want the pop of color. They come in two different colors. You have a pink and you have a white, but they also come in a large variety of conditions. You have a Hercules that grows very thick tendrils. I have what's called a Capensis giant that absolutely gets enormous. So they have their own little nuances and quirks and how they grow, but they are an absolutely fantastic plant. Now, as far as care for them, if you don't want to put them in there with your Nepenthes, I'm going to set this down. They do like optimal conditions to be sitting in just a little bit of water. They like their soil moist, but they are extremely forgiving on the left and the right of that. If they get too wet, they'll be fine. Mine will actually grow very long roots, and they'll grow out of those root trays, and they will actually be sitting in water for months on end. Not an issue at all. Now, a Venus flytrap won't give you that. If it sits in water too long on the roots, it will die. And of course, you know how Nepenthes will react to that. So the sundew is extremely forgiving on that. On the flip side of that, if your soil gets completely dry, it will still be fine. For a while, I had a terrarium that I kept where I just put a bunch of soil in there, and I just planted a lot of them, and it was sort of my extras, and I set it and forget it, and honestly abused it a little bit, and it dried out, and none of the plants died. As a matter of fact, they thrived. So Drosera Capensis, I think it's an absolute winner of a plant that every single plant owner, especially if you're into carnivorous plants, should own. It's extremely easy to grow. It tolerates a wide range of conditions. Right now I have it in a light setting that is not optimal. I have one of my lights, I got to get a new one. It is an extremely low light, and it is still thriving. In a light like this, it would absolutely go nuts, and they'll actually go from green to a dark red as they are healthier and get more light. And so I'm working on getting a new light to do that. Ease of growth. They multiply extremely fast. They are great pest control, not only for your Nepenthes, but you can put them inside on your windowsills. You can put them inside a lot of places where you may have fungus gnats, and they will absolutely obliterate a population of fungus gnats. And they move. It's really cool to see. Now, it is slower, but it is neat to see them curl around their tendrils around these insects. So that's all I'm going to talk about them today. I think that they make a great companion plant. If you have any questions, or if you have any companion plants that we didn't talk about today, like Pinguicula or any other type of Drosera, please let me know in the comments, and we can make a video about that. We can talk about that. And as always, I'm here to answer any questions that you have. I hope that you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Take care.